Howdy, y'all. I'm Mr. Holga.
And I'm Todd Puckett.
And this is
Don's used
photo equipment. In front of
the Great Wall of China.
It's China. No, nothing here is from China. Nothing's from China.
It's the Great Wall of Film.
It is the Great Wall of Film. So, hey, we got a plethora of things to discuss today.
I'm glad you know because I didn't get the email.
Well, I scribbled down a little list. I said, hey, let's talk about a few things.
Scribble? Is that one of them college educated words?
I can hand scratch a few things here and there. So yeah.
You can cursive too?
I can.
Oh wow.
So first of all, we're going to start off by talking. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room first, guys. We're also going to talk about.
That's where that pallet crap came from.
We're also going to talk about the Oro NC500.
Yep.
We are going to talk about a cat roll, not cat labs, but a cat roll. Mm-hmm. We're also going to, you said you have a story. It will be story time with Todd.
If I can remember it.
If he can remember it.
Did I tell you what it was?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Not at all. You're saving your story.
Well, yeah, even from me.
And lastly, guys, please stick around because we're going to discuss negative archiving. I almost said film, but negative archiving. So that's important. You should always keep your negatives.
I think that's where my story is.
Is it?
It's related to that.
Well, great. Then they're going to be all together. So first of all, we're going to start with the elephant in the room.
Yes.
So this isn't the exact elephant in the room. However, the elephant in the room is a two-parter here. The first part of the elephant in the room is that a leopard got out of the Dallas Zoo.
That's not an elephant.
No, it's not an elephant. And it's not. And when we say leopard, we're talking more like a kitty cat size.
Well, I thought
it was a clouded leopard.
Clouded leopard, which evidently are pretty. Are they rare?
I think I'm not quite sure of their extinction level.
Leopards,
like
yeah, but clouded, I don't.
But the news. So my Twitter feed blew up yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I have it in my description that I'm a Dallas Zoo member, and I am. And I just recently re-upped, and I'm always happy to do that. And when I renewed my membership, I threw out some of my favorite photos that I've taken, and I said, hey, I renewed my membership. I probably bought the Primates bananas for the month. You know, enjoy, guys. Yeah. And then that tweet kept getting resent and resent and resent. I think it got over 25,000 views. I mean, it really went through the roof.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, this is very odd. Well, what is going on?
Yeah.
Well, the problem was the Dallas Zoo had a leopard escape. Now, so first of all, when you hear leopard, you're thinking, oh my God.
Oh yeah, big,
huge cat. No.
Like 9 feet long.
This was a clouded leopard, and it was probably about 25 pounds, about the size of a kitty cat.
Okay, that's why they had a hard time finding it.
A very hard time finding it. But
they did though.
But the elephant in the room of this particular story, I see there is a point to the story, guys, is I don't have a photo of this leopard.
Oh.
I have not seen it at the zoo, so now I'm going to purposely have to go to the zoo and photograph the clouded leopard.
You should do your polar walk at the zoo. Oh yeah, people had to pay and they don't.
People had to pay. You know, I find that photo walks where people have to pay admission are generally not viewed walks very, very much.
But you are going to be doing a polar walk.
We are going to do a polar photo walk.
Polar photo walk.
Mr. Snaps and I.
Polar because it's cold.
Because it's cold.
Not because it's instant.
It's going to be in February.
February.
And I think we're going to go to the stockyards, which will be after the stock show and rodeo. So less people.
Yes.
Less people.
Yes. Absolutely.
So that was one part of the elephant in the room.
Yep. Okay.
Todd automatically switched us over to photo walk. By the way, I went to the second Saturday social this morning.
Yes.
Over in my neck of the woods. There was probably about a dozen photographers there?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's their old, right? They used to have a lot of people come to these things.
Right.
And then of course past few years it slacked off. And they're just now getting back into holding them again.
Right, and it's a great time because I needed some tea, I needed a breakfast sandwich. We sat around, we talked, we ate, then we started walking around.
Where were you at this event? What do y'all talk about at whenever people get together who shoot film?
Yeah. Well, normally,
what are the topics of discussion?
Normally, when it's a meet up
Yeah.
like that, and really it's more meeting than it is taking photos. We all
Yeah.
have our cameras sitting out at the
yeah.
table, and it's like, oh, let me look at this one. Let me look at that one. I mean, Scotty had his Pentax 645 N2.
Yeah, which is a good one. Yeah.
One person had a Texas Leica. Somebody had a Leica M4. Somebody had a camera that looked like it came with a free subscription to Time Life magazines. I mean,
I love it. It's a great range of things.
It was a super range of cameras.
And so you sit around and you talk about cameras.
Oh, yeah, we talk about cameras. One of the photographers is a Comic-Con photographer, so they take the pictures with people and the celebrities.
Yes.
Having to ask her, it's like, well, who's the best celebrity?
Yeah.
Who do you think she said?
Yeah. Who?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
He's great for taking photos with.
I bet. He seems like a personal, really friendly guy.
Yeah.
Seems like, yeah.
So, I mean, these are the types of questions. Hey, what are you shooting? What are you not shooting? Clint wants to put together a magazine.
Oh, he's still here, huh?
He's still here. He wants to put together a magazine.
And do what? I mean,
I don't know. He just wants to put together a magazine with photos in it.
Now,
so.
they hold this thing every second Saturday of each month. And it looks like they're going to start doing this every month again.
Yes.
Do they talk about doing it again at this one? So,
normally they spring it on me and I see it's on Facebook.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. So yeah, sometimes whenever I get it, I will retweet it or I will put it on my Facebook or repost it. Just to get the information out there. I'm sure they have their own.
Yes.
They have
their own Facebook page. Yes.
But things like this are really starting to get back out in full swing.
Oh, yeah.
In the DFW area, it's not just this. It's just all across.
Get out and go visit with some other photographers.
Yeah, because there was the photo walk in Fort Worth.
One person was shooting a 4x5.
Ooh. Oh.
He's being very picky about his shots, too.
Yeah, you better be. You better be. So, I have customers in here all the time who come in and say, hey, we've just moved to the area. We've just this, we've just that. And I say, follow our
Mr.
media.
Holga.
Mr. Holga or Don's Use. Just follow our
You never
outlets.
know where I will end up.
You just check the little @ Don's Use photo and you have a list of everything.
Yeah.
But follow these things because this is how you find out about these events.
Oh, yeah.
And this is how you get more involved in the local community, the analog community. Because these guys are pretty much all shooting film.
You have quite some are.
As I said, they're shooting a lot of film in there.
They certainly are. If you're interested in wedding photography, there's probably a wedding photographer there. If you're interested in large format, I know there's a large format person there. You're looking, it's the range of photography. Meeting somebody else who's got your interest.
Right.
You just show up. You show up at one of these socials, and you're going to get to meet this person.
So it's a lot of fun.
If you want to learn how to shoot Holgas, I know a guy.
You know a guy. That's exactly right.
I do.
And I've met that guy too, so he knows a lot.
Exactly. So the other half of the elephant in the room. So my half was the clouded leopard, which
got us to Second Saturday Social Club.
And had well, the part about my my Twitter feed blowing up was the fact that some people were tweeting back to me negative stuff. Zoos are prisons, zoos are horrible, things like that. I'm like, really? Honestly, I would go look at those accounts. They were fake accounts.
Oh, yeah. They were bot accounts. Probably,
they were bot accounts. Anyways, the second half of the elephant in the room, you and I discussed in the last video that that Kodak prices are going up in March by about 17%.
20%.
But that's not what I'm reading.
Then, after we wrapped things up and put that video out, I started following up on all of that. And evidently you did too. I started seeing stories that said 17 to 40%.
40%. That's the number. I'm like, holy schmoly.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, Kodak is not making film right now in 35 millimeter. And if they are, it's like just a carload. And they're sending it out and to
a lunchbox full.
A lunchbox full that's just going out to very select people out there. And I mean, I have people from a good cross-section of this country come through.
Right. Oh,
California,
lots of
New
people
York.
coming here.
I had people.
I still don't know how they find this place.
I don't either. Or what entices them to make their way here. But thankfully they do. And I'm talking to these people, and they're sitting there going, yeah, there's no Portra 400. There's
No.
no Portra. At our store in such and such, there's no 35 millimeter.
No.
No, there's 120, but there is no 35. And man, if we're going to get off, what's fun is I actually had somebody from a store in another city.
Yeah.
Hours drive away.
Really?
And so not to the city next to us.
Okay.
But
Beyond Cowtown.
Beyond Cowtown. And I had two people come in at different times that worked there.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, we carry film, but we don't get much. We have very, very little. And
Yeah.
we don't
I was in here for that, wasn't I?
Oh, probably. But they said, whenever the film comes in, we don't even tell people we have it because it goes out so fast.
Oh, yeah.
They limit it to 2 rolls a person. And they charge $16.99 for 1 roll of Superior 400. One roll of Superior 400. So that's close to $50 a 3-pack.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, yeah, they get a little bit in, and it's gone before they could even. They don't even have to do
it kind of reminds me. So you had that Hasselblad. It was here in the store.
Oh yeah, for a long time.
And you had a price set on it. I don't remember what the price was.
Yeah.
But let's say the price was $2,000.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And you couldn't sell it for $2,000.
Yeah. So
and
what
then
did I
the
do?
next week you raised it to what, $2,100, then $2,200, and then $20,000. As it went by, it just kept getting more and more expensive.
I just added, and then finally it sold.
And it's like.
Sometimes
the price had to be just right.
Sometimes the prices are too low, and people think something's wrong with it. But that's certainly not the case for film.
No.
But the funny thing is that I'm talking, and then a month or so later, another person from that same store came in.
Okay.
And this is the other person called and said, hey, I'm here, and they got film. And they took pictures of it and sent it back and says, yeah, that's film. That's a lot of film. So they knew. And so that person came in and bought some film.
Okay, great.
And that's how I found out 1 roll of 400
Yeah.
is $16.99 a roll. And they also bought some P30. So, man, they just kind of got some selections of little odd and stuff. But they didn't buy it for the store. They just bought it for their personal
For themselves, you're right, because it's cheaper here. They can't even with their employee discount, it was still too expensive.
It's still expensive. But they probably wouldn't even allow the employees to buy it. But the thing of it is that out beyond, there is a great, I thought we were clear of this. I thought that
we thought the dam had broken for good.
For good.
But apparently
and that with Kodak going 3 shifts, 24/7, 7 days a week, just churning out film.
This is starting to feel like a seasonal drought. That's just a seasonal. Every summer we have the same problem. Not enough water. You can't water your yards. Yeah. It's like, what? We had this problem last year.
Well, the last 2 years, I'd really bought a lot of film in December, November, December to build up, for school coming up. Which
it was
that's
flooding.
another topic.
It was flooding, and he just couldn't keep all the water. It just
but now we hear the story that Kodak they hired 280 people.
Wow.
I'm thinking at some point they need to concentrate on actually making film.
Less people, more film.
Less people, more film. Or let's talk about what you're doing, not film. And but it's still. I mean, out of the 7 things that I could get from Kodak, I only have Ektar.
Okay.
And I only have 15, 16 rolls of that left. But we're back to the drought part again.
Yeah. So my general rule of thumb, like for photography or much of anything, is work what you have. Don't work with what you don't have. Kodak, make film with what you have right now.
Yeah,
quickly.
Make film. So I've heard supposedly some stuff may be coming out in February.
And lower the price back down. 40%
March
is not going to be attainable.
Now, the one thing about that 17 to 40%, and they said it's selective.
Excuse me, I said 14. 40.
40. 17 to 40%.
Right.
The thing about that is that it may not be, that's worldwide.
Right.
Now, some countries will have a bigger price increase than others. So out of that 17 to 40.
Countries we don't like?
But some of that film or some of those countries will not be as much as others. So I don't know how much it's going to be in the U.S. and my supplier doesn't know either.
So is that that's like getting cheaper medications in Canada then, right? Maybe we can get cheaper film if we go across the border?
If we go across the
and they bring it back.
Yeah, could be.
Guys,
hey,
I'm just here to make him laugh.
Are you coming to Canada for the medical reasons?
You'll get stopped at customs. I'm sorry, sir. You can only bring back 1 brick of film. That's your limit.
1 brick of film.
You have to declare anything more than that.
Yep. So we don't know, man. But we'll supposedly find out in March. And my guess is that they probably, last time they did that, they just had a little bit of film come out. And then after March, a lot more film came out, and then it went back to being dry again.
Well, so remember, last March was the dual announcement, the Kodak Gold and the Cinestill. Maybe there'll be another great announcement in March.
Yeah, you know what the great announcement would be? Fuji Pro 400 35 millimeters back. That would be great. I tell you what. Then all of a sudden we'll sit there and go, yeah, you raise your prices, Kodak. Anyway.
Well, so speaking of, all right, so Kodak. Yeah. Okay, obviously Kodak's raising their prices, and in our last video we discussed that they said they're the only company manufacturing color film. However, you and I have already discussed Oro NC500.
Yes.
Your guess was it was coming out in the spring, and my guess was it's coming out in the summer. Which one of us is right, Todd?
But I'm not gonna brag.
He's not gonna brag. He's gonna pat himself on the back though. I have seen some people who have done. They did the Kickstarter. They ordered the early rolls and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't know that.
We discussed. Oh yeah. We discussed it.
And we had a video on that.
We said Kickstarters are horrible. Stop doing them.
Yeah, sell it.
But apparently, some of those people are starting to get their film delivered now. So.
Yes, and I also saw that another store had please call us for details to, buy it now. So now that means that Oro in Germany is making NC500 color C41 35 millimeter film. And I've got an order that I've sent to them, but the problem is trying to figure out how to pay them. They won't take my credit card yet.
Clams, shekels.
They
don't take Deutschmarks anymore.
No, not anymore. But
take euros.
So I'm working on getting that film here. Oro NC500 color film, not made by Kodak.
Right.
Made by Oro. So Kodak should have run that through legal before, or fact check. They should have had that fact check.
Well,
before they did that.
An article or a post is really not a legally binding.
No, it is.
You can say anything you want.
You really can. But, whenever I told my Fuji rep that story, all I got was, so that was Fuji's response.
Oh, okay. And we're going to quote them on that. So.
Yeah, we're going to quote them on that. It was, they had a good laugh at it. And we still also have...
But nobody's denied the Ko-Fuji rumors.
No.
Nobody. Yet, nobody has officially denied it.
We're
keeping it alive. We're keeping it alive.
I once said no, but after Kodak said they're the only ones making film.
I was thinking, well, possibly.
Well, yeah, at that point, maybe they did make Ko-Fuji. Because they claim they're the only ones.
They claim.
That was funny. If they're going to call me up and tell me about getting a film that's discontinued wrong, we're going to make fun of them on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kodak, you're not the only one making it. And I am hoping that you're going to have a lot more competition pretty soon.
Okay. Well, so NC500, that's a good thing.
That is. And I've loved the shots. And for a while, we've been saying that other companies out there are making a lot of different film. And it's now Oro's starting to hit. Yeah, and Oro I've seen a lot of the color, the test, they send it out to their customers,
testers.
Their beta testers, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of it, and I like it.
Yeah.
It's crisp, it's sharp, it's
crisp, it's clean, it's no caffeine.
It kind of looks like a
Where's
slide
that
film.
from?
I don't know. I don't know. Where is it from?
It's either Sprite or 7-Up. I forget which one it is. I'll have to look that up.
Look that up. But to me, it kind of looked like slide film on C41.
Okay.
I liked it, and I hope to be able to work this payment issue out and get some of it in the store.
That would be
and
nice.
As I said, but there's other companies out there making these things. Fugu, the Japanese camera hunter, the slide film, but that's still going to be a while. Color Mission.
Okay.
I mean, they've got some out now, but that's going to be a while before the rest comes out.
Right.
In a few years.
And Film Ferrania, they're still working on it.
Film Ferrania will be coming out with color film. So there are a lot of companies out there looking, or not just looking, they're plowing forward to making this stuff. So it's not just a research and development, let's think about it. It's yes, we're figuring out the way to make it.
I think there's room out there for some artisanal mom and pop garage filmmakers. If somebody can make a color film in their garage, and you make a few thousand rolls or something like that. I mean,
Lamick,
he says he's the smallest film company in the world, right?
Yep.
Because it's just him. And if he can do it,
and he's also under 6 foot, and the competition was taller and heavier than him.
Competition. That's right. Jason Lane.
Jason Lane was his competition, and
that's another mom and pop.
Yeah,
he's making a product.
But you weren't here. 2016, we had Michael Bain, who was the rep, for Ilford, in the store, giving it I called the State of the Union address on film.
Right.
And it was awesome. And a customer videoed it. It's out there somewhere. And it's over an hour long, but he goes through a lot of information. He goes through the history. And I think sometimes we kind of look at this as we're back in the same boat as we were over 100 years ago, in the sense of this. There are a lot of people out there separate from the big manufacturers that are making stuff.
Right.
And he said that's the way it was just over 100 years ago, around 100 years ago. And then the big companies started buying them and bringing them into their business.
Right.
So,
and then when the big company fails,
everything goes.
They've ruined it all for everybody.
They've ruined it all.
They ruined it for everybody.
But we're back in that stage again where all of these other companies, but nobody's going to be buying them out.
That's why monopolies are bad. They're bad.
But nobody's going to be buying these and bringing them in. But there will be mom and pop stores.
There should be. I think that would be cool.
And then after they get this thing worked out and rolling, somebody will come up just like, hey, we're going to buy you and bring you into our family, and then you're going to use our resources, our distribution, and everything to make this stuff out.
I mean, it would be great.
There's a lot of excitement out there. We're just too much in the pre-stage of it.
I mean, it would be great if there were some mom and pops out there that got successful enough that that
somebody buys them out,
somebody buys
brings them in.
I mean, for example, if somebody creates an IPA beer, okay. Which I tell you what the P stands for in IPA, but anyways, when there's one that's really good, they get bought up by the big company and it goes national. It's like, okay, because it's a good taste. It's like, well, I wouldn't mind if somebody like Kodak or Fuji or Cinesa says, hey, we love what this mom and pop is doing. Well, let's go grab them and let's keep this going.
Let's keep it going and give it a bigger market and more production.
And more machines and a little bit more R&D and see what we can do with it.
That's what the future of Film Ferrania is going to be.
Guys, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So that's NC 500.
Yeah,
Todd he's leaning on being right.
Yeah, but
we haven't seen it yet.
But evidently it's there to where you can place orders for it. And so next week on my to-do list, if I don't lose it, I am going to send more emails to them and try to figure that out and see.
I'm only going to buy NC 500 when it gets to the store.
Yeah.
I am not going to buy it online or anything else like that. I want to support my local camera store. And by the way, when we mentioned that in the last video or the video before, lots of other people that are saying, yes, they're supporting their stores too. Yeah. And thank you very much for that, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Whether it's this store or any store.
Yeah,
just please.
The stores, because there's a lot of locations around. And I've been sending people to one store who actually has E100 in their own name selling it. So, and they're selling it cheaper than if they had E100 in their store. So it is their name brand, their name on the E100 brand, for about $3-4 cheaper
Right.
than the other. So very cool. So yeah, we push that and send people there and buy stuff.
It's
all
a
across.
community, guys.
It is.
It's a community.
It's
So
a
speaking of the community,
Yes.
we had a gentleman who rolled into the shop today,
Rolling.
and he pulled a roll out of his pocket that looked like it went through the garbage disposal. And I've got a picture of it, guys, and I'm going to share it with you.
Share the picture, yes.
Now, what did he say happened to this roll? Which, mind you, we both immediately looked at it and like, well, those pictures are gone.
They're gone.
Those are gone. Because the roll, it was a 35mm can.
Yeah.
Looks like it had been ripped open.
Like where the film comes out, looks like somebody took that and just peeled it back to where you could look in and see.
It looked like somebody took a can opener to it.
Yeah,
But
but
that
it
wasn't
wasn't
the
a can
case.
opener. It was a leopard.
No, not quite a leopard.
Oh, it was a different kind of cat. His cat ate
He said his cat,
homework.
His cat
Ate.
clawed it open.
Clawed it open.
I didn't. I was thinking, I've never ripped one of those open by hand. I don't know how a cat would have done that.
I don't either, but that's kind of scary cat. But now we have the excuse of the cat ate my homework.
The cat ate my homework. So if he was in a film
So
class.
you're going to see this thing. And so it's usually like this, and the film's coming out this part right here. Well, this part was going like that, and then you could look in and just see the film right there, really neatly rolled up.
Well, we told him to keep the roll because he might want to use it for when he starts learning how to develop and to slide it. You always
Yeah.
keep a dead roll of film. You never know when you might going to want one.
Yeah, just another thing. Quick little offshoot here. Speaking of, I gave away a couple of the dead rolls of film that I had to a teacher who came in.
Right.
And she goes, yeah, the students used them to practice on.
Right.
And the ones I have are just so practiced with, they're just worn out. The colleges start this week.
Right.
And 2 field classes up at, I think it was Collin County.
Okay.
And so the teacher came in and she goes, yes, I think 18 students in each or so. It's
Wow,
a lot.
that's a lot.
It's a lot. The classes are 2 full classes. Now, I thought they had smaller classes, but more of them last semester.
Okay.
But I think, I don't know what happened, but it seems like they have 2 classes with more people in it, I think. But it's still a lot of people, a lot more than I thought would be for this spring cycle. But school's starting. I'm going to have a bunch of rolls of film I'm going to be ordering. I got 100 rolls of the HP5 for the students. Got paper over there. I got 2 cases at least of it. But 40 students? 48 students?
That's a handful.
A lot of students at this one place. So no, classes are not dead. They're growing. And I told the teacher, I said, man, when Pentax comes out with their
new
SLR,
cameras, yeah.
with their SLR, students are going to eat that up alive.
I mean, there's just so, teaching people
Yeah.
how to shoot film is going to go through the roof.
Yeah, so that is going to, films, yeah.
Shooting it, processing it,
Everything.
enlarging it.
Now, whenever you do those things, you have your negatives at the end.
Right.
We always tell people to save the negatives. Save the negative. Been telling a customer of mine this for years.
For years.
Years. Save your negatives. You will have a binder filled with your negatives, and at some point in the future, you will go, hey, let me pull these images out and do an exhibit. Found out
Yeah.
he had been throwing his negatives away. Throwing them away.
All right, so here's the save the negative story. I'm going to throw this one on.
No, I'm not finished with this one.
Oh, really?
I'm not finished.
He's been throwing them away. And
Throwing them away. Now he has an opportunity to expand his photo production.
Right?
And someone said, hey, let's look through your old negatives and let's see what you have and let's see if we can't put some pictures together and sell them.
Yeah.
I don't have it. Don't have all of them. So guess who's a new believer in saving the negatives?
Oh, this person is definitely a new believer.
Yeah, and then I had another customer that I told you about who said save the negatives.
Yes.
He saves the negatives.
All the time.
Now he's going on he's done 3 exhibits, going on the 4th exhibit and selling those bad boys for lots of money.
Hotcakes.
Well, I don't know about hotcakes, but just big bucks. Big bucks. You don't have you have to sell a lot of them and a little money for hotcakes to reach the big bucks he did for one of them. So yes, save the negatives is extremely important. Sorry. But
No, super important. But speaking of negatives, though,
yeah.
We're still going to talk about archiving negatives here in a moment. However, my second place daughter went to Disney World.
Hey, when?
Just this week.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what I have? I have pictures from when she first went to Disney World. And so I got out the shoebox. I found the film.
Shoebox, yes.
I opened the pack because I had them labeled. First Disney. I had the negatives. I took the photos. I didn't take very many, but I threw them on my scanner. I scanned them up, and you've already seen them, right?
Yes, I saw one. Yeah.
I'll share them with you. So what I really wanted her to do was, see, she's got my granddaughter with her Minnie.
Look at the photos. And
I wanted her to do one of those. This is me, and then this is my daughter in the same spot, and she got me one.
All right,
and it looks, and you know, they look so cute. So hers were from 1995. This one's from almost 30 years later. You know?
Yeah.
And so it's those types of moments. It was grateful. I knew right where the negatives were. I could rescan them myself, and I had it in the files.
Now we have the opportunity to sit there and show decades apart.
Yes.
And go look at this, and then guess what? That kid will do that with their kid.
That would be cute.
Yes.
Right.
And then whenever you have generations over a time period, that's why you save your negatives.
That's why you save your negatives.
And have shoe boxes with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, she took the picture of Minnie on a digital.
Oh.
She didn't take a film camera with her. And I say, I might have taken a film camera with me.
Yeah. Film camera. So
I took a film camera to the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Because I did not need 4,000 pictures of rocks. I could limit myself with the film.
Yes, true.
So speaking of save the negatives,
we
are going to archive some of my negatives right now because I actually had some film come back from Lone Star.
And I'm going to need these for this.
Lone Star Darkroom.
Hi, how are you?
I'm going to need mine as well.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, you're going to need some archives. Now, Todd, you sell these archives.
I do. You want me to open this one up?
I think it's already open at the top.
Oh, okay.
But I brought these in. You also sell these in 25s as well. These are for the medium format, 120s.
Yeah.
But I also sometimes like the ones that go the other way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did I have both of these?
No. These are 100 counts.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I bought big counts. Anyways, but so if you're shooting medium format, realize that there's 2 versions you can get.
I did not realize that there was that version. So let me write that down so I can make sure I get them.
Because if you're shooting just the 6x6s, this works out really well. But if you're shooting 6x9 or something like that, you need a different format because the numbers don't match up.
Yeah.
So
no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So slightly different. You want to grab my box there? Let's.
Okay.
Box of film, and the scissors are over there.
Well, you can open that box without scissors.
Well, I know, but we're going to have to cut some film.
Well, you are. Don't trust me with your. I'm not going to cut your.
All right. First things first. We have the medium format.
Okay.
You can have the box.
There you go. You can have the knife. All right. We didn't practice this, people.
Practice? Are you kidding me?
Now.
So I think we need the. These are just 6x6s.
Okay. These are just 6x6s.
All right.
And we'll just take one of these out. There we go.
Okay. I'm just going to put this on the ground for right now.
Okay.
We'll clean it up here in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, 6x6. Now, I could trim these into 4s, or I could trim these into 3s, but these only take 3s.
Yep, 3s.
So I'm going to...
3, 6, 9, 12.
I'm going to trim 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah, it always, I normally do this at a desk. There you go, and take it by the edge and slide it on in there. 1, 2, 3, slide it right side up. These were taken with my Ondu pinhole camera. I'll put that one right there. And 1, 2, 3. It's a nice big gutter between each one of these pictures.
Oh, I want to let you do. Man, this thing is a lot. There we go. Here we go.
Well, I have a little bit of a technique to this.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. I want
and
to.
so I take it and I kind of do
Bow
a little bit of a bend.
Bend.
And the corners get sharp.
Yes,
and
they
so
do.
you kind of have to wiggle it a little bit, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, being as how this got a little flap, I'll probably cut that off.
Yeah. But you can use that flap there to help get it in.
Right, and trying not to get your hands all over your negatives.
Yes.
I'm trying to hold as best I can
and
by
get
the
them
sides.
all in the same setup and same direction.
Yep, and I want to make sure they're up and down. I'm probably not going to put these in the right order, but I don't care. No, I got it.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Wiggle.
So I got to wiggle it in a little bit.
Wiggle them. See, I'm helping. This is moral support here. Wiggle. Come on. Wiggle. Yeah. And look at that. I mean, it fits just perfectly in there.
It does.
And then we got 2 more of these to go.
All right, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to put it in my lap.
Whoops.
Well, there's a first.
Yeah.
Way to go, Todd.
Wow. Sorry, guys. Woo, earthquake. Now, I want to go ahead. You said you're going to get this one, so I'm going to go ahead and
I'm going to go ahead and get that.
This bad boy up.
Because I kind of need to figure, I need to put my stuff in some binders. I've got lots of these in these kind of loose. I need to put some of these in binders. I probably need to put them in by the years and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of need to know how many of these are going to fit in one of those.
On each of these, up here at the top, there's a white space that you can sit there and write all that information down on. So that is very good for those. Now,
this one's actually going to go in upside down.
there we go. Now this is the binder. What's cool about it is covered on all sides. Now some people put them in notebooks. The notebooks have edges wide open so dust, dirt can get inside of there.
Right.
But an actual binder, open it up, it's covered in all directions so that whenever you put something in there, it's not going to get dirty.
Okay.
And you open that up.
Well, so let's take a look at this real first.
Okay.
So first of all, I always take up here, I always put myself a date, okay? Sometimes I will say which camera I've used, and then lastly, I kind of give myself a general note as to what this is. So for example, these look like my vacation pics from Conroe, Texas, so I'd probably say Conroe, Texas.
You want to cut the end off of here?
And the leaders are a little bit longer, so I would trim those down a little bit. And there's a tail piece on this one, so I can trim this one down a little bit. And drop those scissors. But now I have to shove them back in again.
Yep, I'll let you do all of that.
Like I said, if you put a little bit of a bow into it, it goes in easier than anything else.
Kind of wiggle it because the ends do kind of get stuck on there a little bit.
So
now,
there you go.
Here we go. Now we take this, put it right in here, and this will also help keep them all flat too. Whoops. There we go. Now, you have your files here. You have the film here. And yeah, it is a little bit bowing, but that's okay.
But over time, it's going to become flat.
It'll just flatten it all out.
It's like an attaché case.
There you go.
Yes.
And now this right here can be passed down from generation to generation.
Well, so like it would have been very helpful. So had I had my Disney first pics in archives like
You'd
this,
have just been able to go.
I know I would have had a year on here, or a year range. So like if this is only 1 year, that's fine. If you shoot that much, but you might have several years in one of these, in which case you'll be able to say, oh, I know exactly which year that was. I could go find that file folder. I will have a note as to what this was on the side. You'll be able to find it really quickly.
And then you just stick this right up on your shelf somewhere. And there you go.
Yep.
You have your negatives.
So that was that one. We're going to do one of these 35s.
Wow, yeah.
It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit easier because the film is smaller.
Yeah. Look at this. Yeah, wow, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, we're only going to do one of these.
Well, no, I'm not.
What I want to do is be able to show you what I do with the extra, because if you'll notice on here, There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. So that's 35. And if lest I'm mistaken, you sell film in 36s.
But I also have one of those over there that has it where you can put all 36 on there.
It's bigger, but I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Because those bigger ones don't fit in here as well.
As well, yeah.
I would rather have these, and I'll show you what I do with the extra.
That's not a problem. Now, see, now I have to sit there and we have to go all of this and just take one of these. We're just going to grab one and woo! There you go.
It's like a python.
It is, man. I'm telling you what, it's making me nervous. I'm kind of scary as to what section here. Now, all of these, where did you get these processed then?
Lone Star.
Lone Star. Now, Lone Star is under new management, new ownership.
Yep.
And the thing with that is that they also have a new way of sending them back to the customers.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, they used to just kind of put them up in a little bit more of a tight binding roll, and it didn't.
I didn't like it.
Well, yeah, but it didn't crease it, but it really made it difficult.
All right, I don't need that piece.
I hope not.
1, 2,
Too late
3, 4, 5.
So anyway,
right,
now they come back like this.
So you put your fingers here, and you put your fingers here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut. Thank you. Oh. See, now this is teamwork.
Yeah.
And you go ahead and slide that in the first one.
Okay. Well, let me see which end's where.
Oh, I forgot he can't see.
Well, I can see, but I'm just making sure. Looks like Rangerettes or something there. Oh, State Fair of Texas. All right.
Look at the light here. You are probably at...
Fuji 200.
Oh, yeah, we're at the State Fair.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the film. The film is Fuji 200.
Yep. At least that's what it says it is. Now you have to put a little bow in it.
Well, I am.
Okay.
Right there. See my little bow? It's such a little bow, they call me Bo Peep.
And the little corners do get stuck in there sometimes.
So it's my wiggling. See, I can wiggle in support of him, but doing my own wiggle, I can't. See, it's getting hooked up. I'm gonna let you do that.
All right.
I'll get it started. No,
I'll tell you what, I'm going to. No, don't get them started. Here, hold these as I cut them. Just put them in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, put that one down. Here's the next 5.
Okay.
Three, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're not doing this with cotton gloves because I don't like putting cotton gloves on. 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to have an extra one left over.
Yep.
But because of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut this one there because I hate to have a negative by itself.
Yeah, because it's easier. It's harder. So,
now we go.
Here we go.
Now we go, and we just slide it in. Like I said, I do a little bit of a wiggle.
Yeah,
I do a little bit of a push.
I don't have that wiggle capability. I am unwiggleable. Unwiggleable. I don't know. I'm too stiff.
Oh,
how about that?
Is that what it is?
I'm just too stiff.
And if you're still watching us, thank you. Thank you for watching us while we archive some of my negatives here.
I'm pretty sure we're doing this alone at this point.
Oh, come on. Now, somebody has stuck around this entire time. They want to see somebody else suffer with their negatives.
But also, this is something that...
No, that was the little one.
I have, okay.
No, that was
but I've got them in, these are like one, you know...
I don't know what order you put them in.
From here to here, from outward to inward.
Uh-huh.
That's my story.
Uh-huh.
I'm sticking with it.
You know, if you had yourself a nice little light table and all that kind of good stuff, you could see...
I got light tables.
You could see your negatives and have a good time.
But we didn't...
Plan? We didn't plan? Not us.
Plan.
Why would we plan anything around here?
Someone didn't plan, but we are still doing well. This is exciting, isn't it, people? I mean,
I'm having a good time.
Yes, you are.
Because I'm getting my negatives done while we're making a video. How much better could we possibly get, right?
The only thing better is if we were making money at this.
Well, I mean,
no, see, they're out of order.
I don't care. I'll fix them later.
Yeah, I'll fix them later.
I just want to make sure they're at least right side up.
Keeping your negatives is very important, and we've actually have 2 videos, like over a year ago at this point now, where we talk about saving the negatives. And ever since then, we've talked about doing T-shirts.
Save the negatives. Hashtag save the negatives.
But you know,
Big Tex always looks like such a giant.
He is.
He's a giant of a man.
He's a legend in his own time. But we've talked about this, and saving negatives is great. And this is something you can't really do with digital. You can't save the digital. Man, you can put it in hard drives. Yeah, but files get corrupted.
Hard drives fail.
Hard drives fail. Everything. It's just, negatives are so much better.
All right, so now this is my short roll, but this is the longer of the short rolls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this side. And slide it in as far as I can. Mm-hmm. Once again, a little bit of a bow and a little bit of a wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now, I'll tell you what, it's like golf.
Yeah, you can hear the rattling. So as you can see, I've got a little bit of space, but not very much space.
Oh, you're going to overlap
I'm going to overlap, guys. And I know some people are probably saying, this is a sin. He's going to scratch the negatives. You know, it's better than not saving the negatives. It's better than throwing away that last shot or something like that.
Yep.
So at that point, I have overlapped right here at the bottom.
Yep.
So I normally get either 36, 37 shots. In this particular case, I've got what?
36?
36 shots, and so I've got an extra negative.
Yeah.
But now I've got them all in here.
And it overlaps, and
once
it's all
again,
on time.
Going to put a date, probably going to say what camera I used, and I'm going to give a note as to what this is.
And again, here we go. Right in, boom. Close it up.
With a snap. Look at that.
And then it lays down in the bottom. Close it back up. And there we go.
Yep.
Now, this is, I mean, kids really will have a hard time getting it. Cats may get into this, but kids, that will be.
But it's not something you're going to get in 100 times a day. It's
no.
You're going to store them and
eventually
put them away.
These things may kind of wear out, but that's only if you're sitting there opening and closing it up a dozen times a week.
And I don't expect to be doing that.
No.
But
and now, you've had one of these before, haven't you? One of these.
You know, actually, no. I think I had regular binders, and I don't think they worked very well. So
no, they don't.
That's why I'm going to go with something like this.
Yeah. All right, because what I want to find out is after you do this a lot,
right?
Come back someday.
Come back again. We'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, as a guest.
As a guest.
And then you can tell us how many binders fit in that.
Yes, I'd like. So I've got backdated stuff. So obviously I'm going to be filling up some binders. So I'd like to know how many fill. Whether it's 1 year's worth, how many's in a year, all that kind of stuff.
Or just how many of these sheets. Like, can you get 30, 40, 50 sheets in there, or 100 sheets?
Right.
We'll find out.
To be continued, guys.
Yes, that part we will know. But until then,
guys, hey, thanks for watching today.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
I'm glad you stayed all the way to the end. And if you go to the very end, sometimes I throw behind the scenes stuff, making fun of Todd. So, hey, keep right on watching.
It's so easy to do.
It's so easy to do.
It's so easy.
But hey, guys, do please share, like, subscribe.
Just tell it on the shout.
Tell your
shout
friends.
It on the,
tell my friends.
We're stuck at 987. Now it's like we were this far from
our goal. We're never gonna make it. We're never gonna.
Then we're this far. Now we're
never gonna make it.
We're this close to our goal of 1,000. We're this close, and I think we've had some fun videos that deserve to be watched. And
multiple times, yes.
Multiple times. Thank you,
guys. Thanks very much. We're out of here.
All right. Yep.
Oh, look at this mess you made. Just throw those rolls right on the floor.
Whoops. Whoa. Wait.
Hey, watch your step.
Holy mackerel!
You got so many things in the way.
I know. And I cleared a bunch of it out just so we can even get that far back.
You're still, after all these years, you're worried that I'm going to trip over something.
No, I was just
knock down piles of stuff.
I just had a flashback to Dad.
He almost fell over that stuff.
I know.
But he looked like he was going to jump over it. So
now I can't even remember what I was talking about.
Well, we were talking about Oro.